going to be discussing two poets. The first poet is Mercedes Roth. Like the Rains come selected poems. Mercedes Roth has published 14 collections of poetry. Unfortunately, I've only read one, this book. She was born in Buenos Aires. She's lived in New York, America since 1995. She uses in the poems exclamations, repetition, enjobment, short questions to convey what she's saying. In some of her poems she's concerned with, for instance, culture, places, history, and the way we remember and then we forget, say for 2 months, and then remember fleetingly, which feeds into that she's concerned with the way language and words work to build a perception of the world and reality. She's also concerned with the limits of language. So, 3 short quotes by Mercedes Roth. The first quote is from Boredom, a poem called Boredom. Tedium like a kingdom, until recovering the inhabited condition of silence. The second quote is from a book she wrote called Night and Words. Even more, let's think of mechanical reproduction, almost a roller coaster, almost a water wheel, an essay of circular poetics, a fall like a stone, a block, an endless story. And the third quote is from a book she wrote called Main Definitions. And the desert and the mountains as black as she-wolves, and the snow-capped, wuthering heights. And what about dream, and what about the day at dawn, and what about the resigned pace of the day that leaves? The book is from Shearsman, which is an excellent list if anyone wants to check it out. The second poet is a Mexican poet called Xavier Villarretia. The book's called Nostalgia for Death. It contains an essay by Octavio Paz called Hieroglyphics of Desire. Xavier Villarretia was born in Mexico City in 1904. He passed away in 1950. He was openly homosexual, which was unusual at that time and living in Mexico. He spent a brief time at Yale in America, where he studied theatre before returning to Mexico. He joined a group called the Contempory in 1928, which were leading Mexican poets, playwrights, novelists, who were also interested in politics. His poetry is said to be a poetry of desire, and the beloved object of his desire in Villarretia's case is death. His images are very startling and very enjoyable to read. So 3 quotes from Xavier Villarretia. This is from, if I can get the page, Nocturne, the Bedroom. Death is all this and more that encircles us and brings us together, pulls us apart, and finally leaves us confused, startled, hanging with a wound that doesn't bleed. This is from Cemetery in the Snow. The snow is above all silent, and more silent still on the bloodless graves, lips that can no longer say a word. And this is from To Go Back. To go back to the distant country, to go back to the forgotten country, secretly deformed by exile in this land, to leave the earth that encases me, to anchor once again in nothing. Thanks, you've been watching James Dyer, Old Age Pensioners Booktube.